Yes, sir. My G's. Are we live? I think we are. Let me
Save
check.
time creating content
Chat.
and generate a high-quality clone of your voice with 11 Labs. Change the way you record pod. 11 Labs. Change the way
Yes,
you record
sir.
pod.
Welcome
11
back.
Labs.
My G's.
Change the way
Yes,
you record
sir.
pod.
Welcome
11
back.
Labs.
See you. My G's.
Change the way you
Yes,
record
sir.
pod.
Welcome
11
back.
Labs.
Another My G's.
Change the way you
Yes,
record
sir.
pod.
Welcome
11
back.
Labs.
Another My G's.
Change the way you
Yes,
record
sir.
pod.
Welcome
11
back.
Labs.
Another My G's.
Change the way you
Yes,
record
sir.
pod.
Welcome
11
back.
Labs.
Another My G's.
Change the way you
Yes,
record
sir.
pod. 11 Labs.
My G's.
Change the way you record pod. 11 Labs.
My G's.
Change the way you record pod. 11 Labs.
My G's.
Change the way you record pod. 11 Labs.
My G's.
Change the way you record pod. 11 Labs.
My G's.
Change the way you record pod. 11 Labs.
My G's.
Change the way you record.
Okay, now it's good. There we go. Better? I think it's good now. Yeah? Okay, the chat's going crazy. Holy shit. All right. I'm going to put on some Romanian music also later on. Okay? Not in this stream, later on. You know, some Romanian with the shoulder, you know? The left shoulder, the right shoulder. Na 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 da, na na. Anyways, we'll go over it later. Good to see you all. Welcome back to the streams. We're gonna question today as always. I'm gonna give you the full breakdown here. You guys have obviously seen what has happened in the market here with Mr. Trump. All right, we gave you some insights, 2 different setups. I'm gonna go over the outcome of this, keeping it real with you guys here. And completely go over the 2 scenarios as well as the setups that I've taken, the trades that I've taken today as well. Pre-New York session. And then we're going to go over everything that you need to know here. I hope you have a great, great, great Thursday. If you are working right now, then much respect to you here. We are almost in the weekend. You can download my book for free in the weekend, so you can actually read something and actually learn how to get rid of that 9 to 5 in the long term if you don't like your work. If you like your work, you have to keep doing what you're doing. If you don't like your work, there is a way out. There is a way out, my friend. Okay. I'm actually kind of curious. What do you guys do? If you guys have a profession or something like that, what is that? What are you guys doing? All right? Let me know. Let me know in the chat here. I hope you guys are ready. We have a lot of things to discuss here. Big jump in oil, as you guys can see here. 9% up today. Gold dropped 3%. Dollar is back on track again. We have a lot of things to cover, man. But before we go, we're going to go over it here. I see that we have an engineer, a graphic designer, a plumber, training for a living in Lombok, very close to me. Unemployment final bus. That's how I was too, my friend. I was also unemployed for a long time. Engineer, supply chain coordinator. Okay, interesting. Sheep farmer. Wow, so many different professions here in this chat. Awesome to see that. Really awesome. All right, amazing, guys. Keep up the good work here. You guys deserve a nice tune, don't you think so? I think so. I think so. Let's go. Let's take over the freaking game. What do you think? Is the energy back a little bit? Yeah? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the beautiful, beautiful Thursday, sorry, the 2nd of April, 2026. It's a new month, and yeah, I hate to admit this, but the monthly candle has flipped bearish. Yeah, the monthly candle has flipped bearish. We have to talk about this. What has been happening here in the market? We have to go over this here. I'm going to go over everything, including my trades. The one that we talked about on the stream, the one that we had set in terms of a limit order as well. We had to break out retest. That was a trade. That was a trade, right? You cannot neglect that. That was a trade. The retest, perfect, right? Agree or not? Let me know in the chat. Breakout, retest, continuation. You could have easily managed that trade if you took that trade. Agreed? Let me know in the chat, please. Want to make sure that you are aware, that you pay attention, that you are focused. Actually take some things in granted here, because that was an important one. That was an important one, okay? This was still New York session, a bit later, but it was the New York session right here. It was that example of the breakout, the retest at 75. And on the spot, I think it was the 4750, right? On the gold spot chart, that was the scenario. We did came back to the 75s, and we came up around from the 75s. Let me see here. Around 500 pips. Yeah, 500 pips to the upside right there. So, of course, if you held it to the end and you didn't manage to trade or whatever the case may be, yeah, clearly price reversed. We cannot neglect that, okay? But that was just the truth. That was yesterday. That was a perfect retest execution. Like straightforward. That was a clear breakout. The bullish confirmation from the order flow was there as well. So this is something that we cannot take away, okay? Now, that was yesterday. Then what happened at 9 in the morning for me, or 9 in the evening, New York time, okay? This is when everything flipped. This is when everything changed. This is where the reversal came to fruition here, okay? So what has exactly happened throughout that period here? Well, clearly something has happened here, and it was a speech, Trump's speech. We call it the bloodbath Trump speech aftermath, okay? Bitcoin dropped to 67,000. The futures down 1.5%, the S&P 500. Gold dropped around 2.7%. And oil obviously went up with 8.4%, okay? Tons of major news outlets signaled Trump would be winding down the war. Guess what? Oil rise. That doesn't sound convincing to me, to be honest, okay? It doesn't really sound convincing to me when looking into the actual outcome of the reaction of the market, okay? That's a big move, guys, and therefore, like I've been saying already for the past couple of weeks now, we have to pay attention not just to gold, we also have to pay attention to oil. We have to pay attention to the dollar, right? We have to pay attention to both of that in order to get an understanding of the sentiment of the market. Clearly, the reversal came to fruition. So what happened, okay? Well, I'll show you what happened. Number one, this was a trade from yesterday. That was a good trade. Then, today, I had that buy limit set there, right? Like I said before yesterday, I had the buy limit set. What happened? Boom, straight to my stop loss. Right away, boom. So made some money there, hit my stop loss there, okay? Then I realized, and I went deeper into the understanding and the data of what's actually happening in the market here. And I couldn't believe that this was just gonna be a bounce here. I couldn't see the strength after that. I was thinking about maybe, you know, there is a chance that we actually bounce here because clearly we picked a zone where there is clear support, right? We knew we would see a reaction from this level for sure, right? A reaction we expected. At least I expected a reaction from that level. We did see a reaction from that level. However, we didn't see the follow through and price reversed. However, at some point I was like, you know what? This doesn't look convincing to me all here. We're seeing constant sellers stepping in here. So I decided after my loss there in the morning to get short. Yeah, to go short at 4705 right here and to exit at 4655 right there, okay? So I took around a, yeah, you could say the 4705 here until the 55. So that is roughly speaking, yeah, also around 500 pips, okay? So I lost, I think, around 4685, 4685, 4685, 4685, 4711, sorry. 4711 to 4685. I lost around, yeah, 290, 300 pips to make 500 back. So it's not a big risk to reward, to be honest. It's not the best. But again, anticipation on the markets, right? Anticipation on the markets. And just a reaction in a short position to the downside right there. To still take advantage of the weakness and the aftermath of the news here. Because I notice when there is news and it's news related, what tends to happen is that the first move is usually not the move, okay? The first bounce is usually not the real bounce, okay? I hope this makes sense. This is what I've noticed a lot. It's usually just an absorption short term for price to continue to drive lower. And you can see that clearly also in the order flow when we broke down right here. Okay, look at what happened here. And this is such an important factor. Look at what happened here. And this is why we use these boxes, guys. This is why we use these boxes. We had the huge drop. Okay. I went short at what level? 4705.1. Why? Pardon. Why did I went short there? We closed this 4-hour candle below what? Let me know in the chat here, guys, because you guys have been here for a while right now already. At least some of you guys have been here for a while right now. We're training you guys to understand what we're seeing on the order flow. And for the new people, you will understand this in the near future if you pay attention and you come to the streams consistently as well here. Let me know in the chat, please. What do we see there right around this area? I think it's super important for you to understand this. It's about these numbers right there. And it's about that 4-hour closure right there. Okay? I just want to see if you guys are getting it. If not, I will keep repeating it. And then we go from there. But this all has to do with gold and the closure on the 4-hour candle. Yes, listening to Trump's yesterday was so funny. I haven't seen it fully. Okay, but anyways, this huge red box, okay, and this is very, very important right there. There was a huge 4-hour candle bearish, but in this 4-hour candle, where was the most volume traded? Right there, the 5.2K against the 4.8K. And what created this and highlighted zone, right? A lot of deeper, darker, brighter red. That means there is more volume traded there. And there is a stronger negative delta in that candle. That means there were more sellers active at the bottom of that 4-hour candle. And what happens usually when that happens and you close below it, the next candle taps into these exact orders, exactly at that level, and it sells off to our what? Next level, right there. We went right into that box there. This is where we tapped into right here. That was the target. Does it make sense? So price tapped into that here. I went short and I targeted somewhat in the middle here. It actually smashed through this level, which is where I had my target set, by the way, right around there. Okay, so this is why I had the 4705 to the 4655. Okay, you can see it right here, 4705 to the 4655. Okay, I hope you guys can see it clearly. If not, let me zoom in a little bit right here. The 46705 till the 4655 right there, that's short. Okay, that is just a very straightforward continuation play. These, in my opinion, are one of the easiest trades, especially when price is so strong, pushing towards the downside, and you have that retest. You see that a lot of buyers are trying to push price back up here, right? They're thinking that we have found the bottom, price is slowing down, and then they're looking to long it because they want to get into gold at the bottom, quote unquote bottom, right? Bottom, and then price never follows through, and that happens, price continues to go down here. At the same time, on the 5-minute time frame, we also had an overvaluation, and we were actually creating higher highs on the valuation index against the dollar, okay? We're creating higher highs on that, and we're creating lower lows on price. There's a divergence as well, a bearish divergence as well here, okay? So for me, that was a very textbook. Yeah, I could almost call this a recovery trade, okay? A recovery trade after my stops got hit quite quickly. Pretty much in a matter of seconds, by the way, to then get into the trade right there again with the right confirmation, right? So anyways, this allows me to also be very adaptable when market conditions change, and also say, listen, I was wrong, and boom, I adapted and I took advantage of that right there, okay? So that's kind of the summary of yesterday. Yesterday, we saw that bounce. That was the perfect retest in my opinion, guys. We talked about this already. If you break out and you retest, you set the limit order, and you look for the continuation right around there. That was a 500 pip move if you closed the trade. If not, you could have easily took profit or managed the trade very well. And then here, of course, the stop loss, and then there, of course, the short position, okay? Are we updated, guys? And then we're gonna move forward with what are we looking for right at this moment here. Let me know in the chat, please. And then we go from there. I wanna make sure that we're all on the same page, okay? I like to keep things transparent and upfront with you guys. Just to go over the data, the actual trades and the reasoning behind it, and the loss, and then the recovery, and then the overall, example of the reasoning behind it. So there is no confusion there, okay? And then we go from there, okay? Perfect. If you guys like this overall breakdown here, which I do on a daily basis for you guys, this is already the 4th live stream of the week during the New York Open here. This is what I do here. I'm here just to go live with you guys and to trade and to explain my trade scenarios, to take trades if I see an opportunity in the session. And if I don't see anything that aligns with my vision here in the session, I'll give you these scenarios for after the session, or throughout later New York session when the volume kicks in, or whatever the case may be, right? So if you guys appreciate this, the only thing I'm asking from you is to smash up that like button right there. You can also download my book for free. I will give you a couple of examples today in what kind of format you can use the book, because there are a lot of trade examples in this book right here, such as the volume profile, okay? Right there, the volume, wow, it's crazy that I picked in one go, write this page up, wow, it's like magic. Anyways, the volume profile, right there, okay? You can download this book completely for free, it's in the description. I made this for you so you can actually learn about the volume profile and about the concept itself from a macro standpoint as well. And I think it will help you tremendously. So I'm gonna right now put a link in the chat. You can download it for free right here, okay? Who has already downloaded the book so far? And do you guys like it? Let me actually see in the chat right now. And then we continue with our macro analysis, our higher time frame bias on gold right now. With the question, of course, are we going to bounce right here, or are we going to just pull back to short, continue to short down? Let's see what the chat is saying here. Is it working? Lorenzo, news is in 8 minutes. Yes, there is news coming very soon. That's what I'm waiting for already. So that's perfect. We have some news coming very, very soon here. All right. Why in most Thursdays market gets a dump? Yeah, Trump Thursday. Hey, that's what I'm saying. It's Trump Thursday. It's that's how we call it right now. Trump Thursday. Okay. All right. Perfect. Amazing. That's great. That's great. That's good to hear. Okay. Anyways, let's go to gold. I'm gonna go to the gold spot chart right now, and then we're gonna go to the futures chart as well here. Quickly. Did we tap into a supply zone? Yes, we did. We tapped into that resistance right there. Okay, so we have seen that breakdown right now at the moment. We have to do our deep dive into what's going on here. So oil is one layer. Okay, oil broke higher. Okay, and if this candle closes again, guys, and this is important, if this candle closes bullish and it closes above the 107 today, then what is going to happen? Most likely, oil will continue to drive higher. Okay, this is probably a thing that people are asking. You can see that these new zones are getting created here. We had a demand zone right around here, a demand zone right around there. And now if we can close above the 07, we will have a new daily demand zone right around there. This will be heavily supported, okay? And this could turn into a continuation play with oil being strong right now, okay? We're sitting at the $110. Unfortunately, and I hate to say this, when this is the case, okay, there is a big chance that gold's pressure will be more leaning towards the downside again, right? It's unfortunate we saw a beautiful relief bounce, but hey, the tide might be turning here. We're celebrating a little bit too early when it came down to gold, of course, pushing higher. Even though I must say, it was a fantastic range, a fantastic short-term trend to the upside right here. But anyways, we can see this right now. At the same time, gold is holding up right now. Okay, why is this? Gold is in that higher time frame support at this current moment as well. Here we tapped into that previous support right there, kind of reacting from it right now at the moment, right? So we dropped around 3% here. We came up. The 4-hour candle right now is trying to push up higher. We have a bullish current 4-hour candle. The previous 4-hour candle is also relatively bullish as well here as a recovery. But you can clearly see that we found that support at the 4553. Okay, very, very clear. And now we can see on the hourly time frame that we are, kind of finding that new support right here as well. And we're trying to push up a little bit here. So gold is chilling. And at the same time, oil right now on the lower time frame has been slowing down. The dollar is also weakening again here. And look at the dollar. And this is important for you to understand right now. Look at where we opened the market, which is right here on the dollar. Okay, this is the Sunday open right there. And this is all important for gold later. Right there. Okay, look at the Sunday open right now. Right around here. Okay. And we got rejected at the opening price of the week. So where the dollar opened this week, we got rejected. And we also got rejected there already on a Tuesday when we retested it. Okay. On a Monday, we turned it short-term into support as well, okay? And right here, it was resistance. So do you see how the opening price of the week right here is such an important level to look at, okay? Let me know. We can also talk about this right here on the volume analysis. We have this also marked out here. The weekly cycle, for example, is where we talked about, and this is about the Sunday open. Right there, right, the opening price of the week. And you can actually see that right now, that is holding us back as resistance right now. And it seems that the dollar is slowing down, okay? So this is something that we currently are noticing on the dollar, that we are slowing down against the overall rest of the market right here. We're gonna look at how it's valued against the euro. On the 5-minute, we are relatively undervalued, so it's still a little bit tricky, but this was a predictable top right there in the short term, okay? So we might still pull back a little bit, but again, this is important right now that the dollar is facing in this session currently a little bit of resistance here. In 3 minutes, we have the initial jobless claims. So we're gonna see if this is bullish or if this is bearish for the dollar, okay? Right around here, I think it's important to really pay attention to the initial jobless claims today. Yeah, and tomorrow is a holiday for most of the countries right here. It's Good Friday tomorrow. Okay, so I don't know for sure, and just fill me in for a second here. Is the NFP tomorrow? Because I'm very confused right now. I didn't look into AI. I didn't ask Google right now. It's for tomorrow. I know it was potentially coming. If it's the case, then that's important for us. But at the same time, it's Good Friday as well. So it's a bit tricky. It's a bit strange, right? But if it's tomorrow, it's very important. Okay, the NFP will come, but we also have a bank holiday, so we might see a little bit more of a, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out tomorrow, okay? But anyways, the dollar right now, you can actually see is struggling a little bit right here at the moment. The 10-year yield is connected to the dollar, has been coming down here, and the bond market is pushing back up again, the ZB1. This is an inverted correlation with the dollar, okay? If the bonds go up, the yields go down, the dollar goes down, okay? If the bonds go down, the yields go up, and the dollar goes up. That is the standard, okay? So we can see that the yield or the bonds are find some support right here. And that is an important factor to really pay attention to. Also, the euro right now. Look at that. This is the Sunday open of the euro. And if you mark out the volume profile over the whole week, right here we can see that we're breaking back above the point of control as well. So the euro is also pulling back a little bit. So it seems to be a little bit like a pullback scenario right now, okay? So take this in consideration for now, for the current session. We have news in 30 seconds. I'm kind of waiting right now for the news. I kind of want to know what happens, how the dollar responds to the news as well. And then I can continue my analysis with you guys right around there. So we have around 30 seconds left. And then I can see what we can do around here, okay? Is it a pullback trade? Or is it a resistance or rejection at the higher levels around the, yeah, you could say the 4700, the 4685, which is around the 4,650 on the spot market. Something like that here. Let me actually see. Yeah, we're relatively overvalued right now, so we might still see the pullback. Let's see. Okay, we have the news coming right now. Perfect timing, guys. Let's have a look at it. There we go. It is 202. Okay, that's slightly bullish or slightly good news, I could better say. Not necessarily bullish. Slightly good news for the dollar right here. Okay. Now, how does the dollar react to that? Let's open the dollar quickly. The dollar doesn't really care. There's not really a reaction coming from it. We had an initial impulse here on the 1 minute candle. We see an immediate rejection right now. We are finding some support here. So yeah, this might be a little bit of a pullback scenario here. So gold might still pull back a little bit just by looking at it here, okay? But anyways, what I wanted to show you was something on the order flow chart, because I think this is something that is super important right now for you to look at. Do you guys see what we're seeing on the daily time frame? Let me know. Let me know in the chat here. I will, of course, give you guys the insights if you do not know. But I'm just keep asking you guys, because I want you guys to actively be involved in the chat, right? A lot of people that host live streams, they just talk and talk. I'm also a massive yapper, don't get me wrong. But I'm trying to get you guys engaged to see if you guys are learning something. Because this is my mission is to teach you something on what I'm seeing here, okay? But this is the daily time frame on gold right now, okay? And this is what we are currently seeing at this current moment. And let me see if the chat actually sees what I see here. Christian, my man, thank you for the subscription. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, my bro. Okay. An absolute pleasure to host you here today. Okay, anyways, we are talking about these numbers right there. Again, the same old story as we just talked about on the 4-hour chart on gold here, right? When we got rejected there, when we took our short position. On the daily time frame, we're actually reacting from a bunch of trapped sellers from a Monday, okay? This is what we're seeing right around there, so from a Tuesday. So we're reacting from this. This is why we're bouncing right now, guys. This is why we are currently bouncing. Okay, we're bouncing from the 4600. This is where we have find some higher time frame support at this moment. So we are in higher time frame support at this moment on gold right here. Okay, then on the 4-hour time frame. Then what can we see on the 4-hour? We tapped into that higher time frame support. Buyers stepped in aggressively here. Okay, so I can see the buyers are coming in there. We closed this candle above the buyers. We bounced from it and we're holding this as support as well right now, okay? Then we go to the 1 hour, you see it more clear. The buyer stepped in around there. We positively closed the candle bullish. We retraced and we're finding that support right there, okay? Now, this candle is a candle where we need to close bullish in my opinion, because if we close bullish, then we close potentially above the sellers right here. And that could then turn into support. So for example, if we can close above this, I would potentially place a limit order at the 4635, the 4636 to be exact. Does that make sense? The 4636, I will place a buy limit order and I'll put my stop loss below it at 4616 or at 4610, right below these buyers right there. Okay, that is an example how we went from the daily, okay, to the 4 hour, to the 1 hour, and now let's look at the 15 minute. Ooh, a lot more candles. Yeah, you can actually see that we're still in a range, and what I was looking at was more a little bit of a pullback scenario right now, which I think could definitely happen here. The fact that we are pulling back. This is on the 5-minute time frame. Sellers are already coming in a little bit right now. At the moment, we are still in some resistance, as you guys can see as well here. And sellers are trying to step in at this current moment right now. So for me, I can see gold being a bit oversold. I think it was a heavy reaction during the Asian session here. The London continued to drop, and now the New York. I'm curious to see if the New York is able to pull back a little bit today. Okay, this is what I'm looking for, because I can see the dollar getting rejected from an important level, which is what we call, obviously, the Sunday open. Okay, the Sunday open right here is where we got rejected at, right around there. So what we want to do is we want to stay below the opening price of the week right here. Okay, on the dollar right now. I hope this makes sense. So what I'm looking for right now is something like a pullback. Okay, on gold, a little bit of a pullback here. I think we're going to drop a bit further. We need to get to that undervaluation here. Why do I say this over and over again? Okay, if we're undervalued on the 5-minute here, what do we usually do, guys? Let me know in the chat. What do we usually do when we're undervalued against the dollar? Okay, you can see it right there. 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 I can keep going, right? But I think you get the point right here. Okay, we usually bounce. Okay, and that's important to understand. We usually bounce. Do we also usually then continue? Not all the time, right? If we're bearish, right? But at least when we're undervalued, and this is from the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, we at least set a short-term bottom in the market. This is what we have been seeing according to today and to yesterday. Okay, so the ideal is that price indeed comes down. We find some support here, and then I would feel comfortable with setting a buy limit. Okay, you see as well right now that the dollar is actually showing us right here at this current moment that we're undervalued against the euro. Okay, now let's go do that. Okay, now let's look at the euro. Look at this, the euro. I can put in the EURUSD here. Look at that, the EURUSD. I'm gonna do that. And what do we do here? We found the bottom. We found the bottom. Okay, we are finding the pullback, the bottom. Okay, right here, not really, more of a range, to be honest. Right there, the bottom, right there, the bottom. Right, so right now we're here. Is it wise right now to buy gold here at this current moment? That's my question to you. Is it wise right now to buy gold at this current moment here? Okay, looking at what we're seeing right here. At this moment, I believe that when I do and look at the valuation here, and this is so important, especially in moments like these, when you get these signals, the dollar undervalued against the euro and gold overvalued against the dollar, I don't think it's the smartest move right now to buy gold, okay? So I don't want you to rush into longs right now. I don't want you to get, triggered into a position, feeling that you're missing out on a trading opportunity. In my opinion, from what I've seen now over the last like 10 times, okay, you can actually see that it's usually from a statistical standpoint not the right moment to enter the trade, right? Long, at least. That's what I think at this current moment, okay? So I think that there is a chance that we pull back a little bit here. Let's look on the 5-minute time frame on the order flow chart. Let's put it now next to Goldie right here, and let's get to work, okay? Right around there. So we are in higher time frame support. We are not necessarily bullish, in my opinion. The trend has shifted, but we are in bouncing territory. That's all I can say. We are in bouncing territory at this current moment right now, okay? So I'm going to be patiently waiting here. I'm looking to see if we can pull price down, specifically towards the lower levels here. Let me actually see what we have right around there. Let me actually see if we can get towards a reaction here. Mark out the volume profile. Ooh, what about the 4615, guys? The 4615, right around here. Okay, it is taking out the lows here, right there. Okay, tapping into the point of control. Okay, and then potentially seeing an undervaluation right there. The dollar pushing back up a little bit, hopefully getting a bit overvalued or getting to the middle, and then a potential bounce. Something like that, okay? Very similar to the RSI indeed. It's slightly different though. It has different ways of calculating. The RSI is a bit too... yeah, it's similar, but it's not the same. The RSI calculates only the chart. The style valuation index actually measures the chart of two charts, and it turns it into one. The dollar and gold in this case, right there. Okay. Let me know, guys, if this makes sense for you guys here. Okay, the higher time frame support right now is important. The 4 hour is in support. Okay, this is important to know. The 4 hour is in support here. You can see it very clearly, right? We held her there, we held her there. And there are not really a lot of sellers stepping in at this moment, okay? I think a lot of the selling happened before that, okay? I think that's important for you to take consideration as well. On the daily, we are in a large higher time frame zone. An area of support right there. And on the 1 hour, you can see it already. We saw some selling in the previous hour, but these sellers are now on the water, okay? These sellers are now stuck in the mud at this current moment, right around there, okay? So, yeah, if you're going to pull back right now, right here, if we will pull back right here, okay, then is there a chance that we will be able to take a long, let's say around the swing POC here at the 15, the 4615. This is something that I potentially will be looking for, okay? And then, of course, we have to look a bit into the order flow right there as well to see if that aligns with a level that we are also looking for. And you can already see here that around the 46105 here, yeah, we do have an area of interest. Exactly, actually, right around there, okay? So we do have a level which might be very, very important here. So that could be something for price to push down, and then I will place a limit order. I'm actually going to do this already here. I'm going to set in a contract of 3 contracts. And I can always move my limit or whatever I want to do later on. But that is something that I'm going to do already. I'm going to just set this order right there. Okay. And hopefully we pull back a little bit and we actually take out the lows, but still maintain support here. So we actually come back down. We take out the lows. We find support, and then we'll try to just follow up with this current range. Okay. We are clearly in an, at this moment still in a relatively balanced session. You say why we're balanced? We have been dropping so much because we have still not broken the daily lows here. Okay, so we're still above the daily lows right now. If we would re-break the lows, we are potentially in an unbalanced session, which usually leads into continuation plays. But right now, I'm looking to see if I can get into something like this. And yeah, let's see if the dollar actually is finding a bit of support. It doesn't look that strong to me right now, looking at the dollar at this moment at least, right? It doesn't really look that convincing at the moment. If you look at the euro is also finding some support right now at the moment as well here. This is the euro. Okay, look at the euro. The euro on the higher time frame is in that support here on the weekly and on the daily. Okay. On the 4 hour, it's still not really that convincing yet right here. And this is why I was saying we might have to get back towards this candle right here, right? The 15528. So if the euro flips into that zone here, we might pull down as well. So I think there's a big chance that the gold might drop in the short term and then potentially come back higher. By the way, I need some moderators in the chat, okay? Just so you guys know, I need some new moderators right now. We've been growing really, really quickly. And I looked at a man in the chat, which is called John Sparks. This guy's been joining the streams, yeah, since the beginning, actually, since I started this format, episode 18 already. And he has been consistently here to talk about, you know, people, help people out here, okay? Yeah. We do not have a membership. We don't have a VIP membership right now, okay? We don't have anything at this current moment. We're getting this question all the time. But at the moment, we have nothing here besides the streams and the book, okay? Just so you know, just so you know. Yeah. Yeah, the dollar is finding some support right now. Okay. This puts a bit of pressure on Goldie. Goldie at the moment. Right here, let's see what gold is doing. Yeah, we're holding that short-term resistance now. This is on the lower time frame. Look at the sellers here coming in right now on the 5-minute. This is what we're seeing on the 5-minute, and this is what we're seeing on the 5-minute. Okay, the sellers are coming in here. Right around there, the 515. You can actually see this. You can actually see this. So we are paying very close attention to the reaction. Okay. And hopefully we can pull back. And yeah, I want to get triggered into my trade. Obviously, I want to see more of an undervaluation. So yeah, I'm still paying a lot of attention to the level. At least I want to get to the 0. Because we have been bouncing from this level before already as well. Okay. You can see that right there. Right there. And right there. Okay, so if we can get back towards that and we hold up here and we are, you know, continuing that like downwards channel, you could say. Right, we do something like this and we bounce back up, right? Then that would be, that would align pretty well with the order flow right now at the current moment, at least. Okay. So yeah, that is something definitely that I will be looking at this moment here. You guys are wondering, why did we use the exact 4615? Well, this is where the volume profile comes into play. Okay, you can go to the fixed range volume profile right here, and you can take it from the low to the high. So you take the bounce. Okay, you take the first real bounce. You take the low to the high here, and you mark it out. And then that gives you a level, and the red line is the point of control. So in that overall line, the swing low to swing high, this is the area where the most volume has been traded in that exact range. And this is on page number 52. Okay, you can learn about this right here. In this chapter, we cover the swing profiles, one of the most effective ways to trade within an aggressive trend. For those moments when the market is pushing relentlessly, making higher highs or higher lows without giving you a clean retracement into a previous established zone. When price doesn't revisit yesterday's level or the previous week's structure, we are not going to sit and wait. Instead, we adapt and build structure from the most recent leg of the momentum itself. That's where the swing profile becomes essential. Yeah. That's why we have our level right there, okay? Let's come down a little bit. Let's see if we can get there, okay? If we want to be aggressive right now, we can also short it real quick. Shall we try? Just for fun? Low risk? Small trade, just for fun. Dun, 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 dun. The reason why is the 500 here. I want to stay actually below that. I want to pull back right here. Okay. I want to see if the dollar is finding that support a little bit right now. I want to actually see if the dollar can hold that. And if it can push down a little bit here. This is just a smaller risk. We have only one contract. We'll open we'll open 3 contracts lower. If you can get there, of course. Of course, but we're dealing with a bit of an overvaluation. The dollar is undervalued as well here. We are in the top of that range. We are finding that resistance right now. Why not? Why not? Give it a try here. See if the order flow can give us something, something similar. And if not, we just have to be a bit more patient. I did the same for you. My broker is Pepperstone, but my PSC above is above yours. Very strange. Because we utilize the futures chart here on this stream. I do look at gold spot as well, don't get me wrong. And especially, and I realized this as well, if you guys want to have an analysis right here at the end of the stream where I do like a full breakdown, right? Yeah, maybe it's interesting for you indeed to see that that understanding of also the gold spot chart, right? So you're at least a bit of aware. You're aware of the situation as well here. You are aware of the overall situation. Okay. You know exactly what price that was to look at as well on the spot chart. You know what I mean? I think it makes sense. It makes sense to me right there. Dun, dun. Hey, Lorenzo, your thoughts on Bitcoin right now? Bitcoin, man. I haven't been looking at Bitcoin too long, to be honest with you. Let me quickly check it out here. What has been happening on Bitcoin, guys? Daily demand, daily supply, daily resistance. Doesn't look that good, right? The trend is still bearish. We are pushing down. We are, yeah, probably going to target 65 right now. That's something we're going to do. The 65,000, something like that. Let me know, guys, if you guys have downloaded the book. If so, if you have downloaded the book today, if the link is working. Just want to make sure that the link is working correctly. Okay. Oh, let me know. I would like to know this too. If the link is actually working. Let me know. But anyways, yeah, Bitcoin, my friend. Yeah, you're right. Bitcoin is really bearish right now at the moment. We are facing that higher time frame support at the 64,000, right? So you're trading at support right now very, very closely. So yeah, we need to be patient there. But internally speaking, yeah, the trend is bearish. Bitcoin is weak. It doesn't really look convincing right now to me, especially with higher time frame supply and demand right here. Okay. Just wanted to say about that, but yeah. Not a really big fan of Bitcoin right now, to be honest. Looks nasty to me. Looks a bit nasty at the moment. Yeah. Link is not working. Link is not working. Nope, the link is it should be working though, right? Let's see. We'll figure it out later. It should be fixed soon, okay? It should be fixed soon. Anyways, gold bounce limit, buy limit set at 4616 futures. And yeah, I'm trying to see if we can take a quick scope to the downside with low risk, very low risk. This short was very nice. This was, of course, a stop loss. That short recovered everything plus more. This was also very nice here, by the way, yesterday. That was a pretty good bounce here. Actually, really like this. Not this one, sorry. It was this one. Right there. That was a very nice reaction overall. Very nice. Gold's still holding up really well. I hope we can get into a long here soon. We actually come down. I hope that we can trade towards that. 4616. It works for me. Probably the country you're in. Okay, good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, look at the oil pushing up higher, guys. Look at oil going crazy right now. Look at oil. Look at oil pushing. Wow. Look at oil pushing. The dollar is holding that support. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. The bonds are coming down here. I think there's a lot of downside pressure on gold, to be honest, guys, to be really honest with you. If you see oil pushing up like that, the bond market is in that resistance right now. The euro is also in some lower time frame resistance right now as well here. You can see this right there. Okay. Yeah, gold, I think, is also facing that resistance here. It's a serious move for oil, by the way. Again, wow. What a reaction, man. What a reaction. What a reaction. Some serious stuff right there. Yeah, so we have trap buyers sitting up here right now at the moment. These are buyers. You don't really want to close above this, to be honest. Especially the hourly closure. And I'm just going to cut my short right away, by the way. I'm just playing around with a low risk trade just to see if we can trade towards that. But yeah, there's definitely some resistance right now. And the buy limit there is already set. It's gonna be interesting. Hopes of end to conflict. Yeah, I mean, call it exactly with gold. Damn. Yeah, that's a big spike for oil, man. I need to look into. Is there anything news that came out here? Okay. Is there anything of interest here that came out right now? There must be something. There must be something. Oil can't, like, oil spikes not out of nowhere like that. Again, I need to check that out. There must be something happening here. There must be something. Dun, 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 dun. That's a big move for oil, by the way. It's a huge spike. That's a big spike for oil. Russia, Putin discusses oil operations with OPEC. Russia, Putin discusses oil operations with OPEC. 2035, okay. Yeah, all right. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that 5-minute resistance seems to hold for now. Let's see. Yeah, this is a smaller time frame setup just for fun. You can actually see that we have a range here. And we have the point of control there. Okay, that's the point of control right there. Yeah. Because it dropped so hard of Baron Trump. Yeah, man. Now, this is a huge move for oil right now. And the fact that the dollar is holding that support here will put some pressure on gold right now. Yeah. Currently in short. Scalp. Lorenzo, you have some birds in your house. I do? Yeah, I have some birds cheeping here, chicking here. How do you say that? Cheeking? Chipping? Sorry, man, my English. What's the word for it? What's the word for it? Forgot about it. Anyways. Chirping, yeah. Haha. Chirping, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Yeah, I put this on break even. It's actually ridiculously low risk. I should have added much more contracts. I don't know why I took one contract. That's actually it's real beta. Anyways, it was just for fun. Just for fun. We were overvalued, right? We are in a key level, so it's not stupid. It is not stupid. But we're not where I want to be yet, so I need to close this limit order real quick. I have closed the limit order, just so you know. Did we reach our target? We're not there yet. Wait, 1 second. We're in that short now. Ooh! Now that turns it into a real one. Look at that. Rate this for 1 second now, because there is something happening with oil right now. This can't just be, it can't be ignored like that. You can't do that. It can't be just ignored like that. That level right there, there is no way. But look at that level, right? That level held perfectly right there, right? The red box. Okay, well, anyways. Where are we now? Let's quickly go to the 5-15-minute order flow. Yeah, we're definitely seeing sellers stepping in here right now quite aggressively. 4 hour is... Ooh, 4 hour flipping. Damn. Yeah, okay, we're pulling back. Okay, close it. We'll see later. Quick scalp, guys. Very low risk. Nothing too crazy. Now, we closed the trade right here. Actually, a bigger trade than I thought here. It's still like, what? 417. Still the 250 pips. Yeah. Should have taken more contracts here. Shouldn't be such a, yeah, a little weasel. Huh? Anyways. Okay. Now you could see the pressure, and again, did the overvaluation disappoint us? No, it did not. It did not. Okay, we take the overvaluation very serious, very serious. I'm just saying it. We'd be taking these overvaluations very serious. It is not the end goal, or no, it's not the only goal to look at the overvaluation, but it is a. It is an important factor, because this is for us extremely interesting. Look at every overvaluation. It's pretty much the top, and it didn't disappoint as well this time. It's very straightforward. When it aligns with a key level, the volume profile. Okay, so look at what I'm building here, guys. Just so you know, I'm taking this very, very serious. I'm turning this into a real trading system. I have been working on this already for a long time, by the way. This is tested throughout and throughout. But it is my gold hybrid trading system right here. Boom. Yeah, this is for the serious G's. This is for the serious G's right there, okay? A quick correlation check. We go to the dollar higher time frame on the chart. Then we move to the euro footprint chart on the daily. Then we go to the bond market on the daily footprint. We go to the 10-year yield on the daily footprint, which creates our session bias. Not our daily bias, our session bias. Because you can have a bullish Asia, but you can have a bearish New York, right? Look at the, then we go to the gold chart. We look at the closure on the 4 and the 1 hour, which is perfect before the New York session. We go to the 15-minute, 5-minute time frame, right here, dollar and gold. This is what we have open all the time on the stream, right? The dollar index and the gold. We look at the valuation, and then are we overvalued? Are we undervalued? Are we neutral? We utilize the volume profile, which is our support and resistance. And then we look for the 1 hour, 50-minute, and 5-minute footprint confirmation, which indeed allows us to take our buy and sell limits right there. Okay, that's the gold hybrid trading system, and this is a system I will be teaching on the streams consistently. And this is what we have been following consistently. Okay, I hope this makes sense. There are a couple of variations on this. Okay, this doesn't only have to be on the 5 or 15-minute time frame, by the way. Yeah, so when you guys are talking about mentorship and this and that, a lot of you guys have been asking about it. And like I said before, I'm not going to open a mentorship. I don't think I will. Not like a VIP. I will not sell course. It's just, I realize it's not my thing to create a course and sell it. It's not my style. The only way I would do something is, yeah, help a very small amount of people. 10 people. I don't know. We have like 1,200 people watching. 10 people. That's it. Something like that. Teach them that system in a over the course of months and let them master it. Okay. Anyways, we're pulling back. So we did react it from this level. Actually, we did react from this level. Let's see. Because now becomes important here. Okay, look at that buying coming in. Wow. If you had our buy limit still there, that would have been crazy. Shorting and then the buy limit. But anyways, a lot of buying coming in again. The 50-minute closure is going to be the most important right now because look at all that buying. And this can be very bullish. But if this candle suddenly flips bearish and these buyers are all trapped, it's very bearish. It is very bearish. And it usually leads in continuation place. So let's see where this candle on the 50-minute closes in around 8 minutes. Then we close the 50-minute candle. Wow. Damn. Wow. Should have kept my buy limit open, man. Damn. Okay. Anyways. Look at the dollar. Dollar is not moving. So it's not the dollar. It's definitely oil. Oil and gold. That's what we need to focus on right now. Oil and gold. How is oil moving in this session? That's what we're focusing on because this is what's impacting gold right now. Let me get some water. Anyways, it was a good little scalp. And let's see where we close this 15-minute candle. Okay, geez. And then we go from there. All right? Let me know if you guys are interested in learning this this overall system here that I've been working out for you guys right there, that I just showed you. I hope you like it, because we have a lot of things to cover there, okay? We have a lot of things to cover, because it's a full process for sure. It's only for the guys that are serious here. There are people that are really willing to show up here consistently. And I'm actually really serious about learning it, because that's why I'm here. I'm here for the guys that are really serious You know, we were getting into the quick trade sometimes as well, right? We're not, you know, like this was a good example. But what my goal is to actually give you the actual fishing rod and not the fish itself, okay? You need to learn how to fish yourself in order to get there. You understand this, right? You know that you can't rely on some random Dutch guy with his weird, like, you know, way of talking and communicating. Not forever, at least. That's for sure. Yeah, this is specifically, by the way, optimized for gold. Just want to be clear on that. It is specifically optimized for gold right around there, okay? Specifically optimized for gold here, okay? All right, this is a very important moment for gold right now because the sellers were taking that control here quite aggressively. This is a zone right now that needs to be either broken or we need to drop again back to the 15 and actually find that support this time for real. So let's see if we can actually do that. The valuation is coming down a little bit. Okay, we're dropping a bit right now at the moment here. Oil is still finding support already. Look at oil. Okay, oil is holding up here. So let's keep the oil on the 5 minutes right now. Let's forget about the footprint for a second. And let's look at oil on the lower time frame. Ooh, I like the sound. To be really honest with you, okay, if I would have entered that buy limit here, I'm not sure if I would have closed it right there. To be honest with you, right? Let's be realistic here. That is the other side here. We would have been pulling back. Regardless, it was a good entry. It was a good entry, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's getting hot, guys. 1 second. Give me a moment. Yeah, I have these 2 geckos in my garden right now. And no offense, but they are fucking. Sorry, I see it. I saw it. I just saw it. I don't know why I told you that, but anyways. Yeah. Okay. Gold's coming back down again on the 5 minute right here. Sellers still in control right now at the moment here. I'm going to put the tick size to 40. Look at what happens. Boom. Now we see a bit more better of what's going on and where the resistance is at right now. It still looks pretty bearish to me right now. Okay? This still doesn't look convincing at all. We are dropping below the 0 for the first time in a while. So if we are dropping to the undervaluation, which is probably around the lows here, I will potentially get into a long again, or actually get into the long for the first time. And that's the value area low, guys. That's the swing value area low right here at level 4582. If you can get there, that will be really interesting. Because it doesn't look that strong right now, okay? And like I said, if you would have entered there, yes, it would have been a good trade, but guaranteed I would have not closed there. That's the other side of it. Look at oil holding that support here. Oil is just so bullish right now. Oil is so bullish. Anyways, if you guys like this content and you really like the value, the music, hopefully I can bring some good vibes. I know a lot of you guys are working and you're actually watching me right now while you're working here. So it gives me the extra motivation to just give you that extra vibe, the good vibe. So you can listen to it while you're working. Even if you don't watch the charts, you just hear me yapping, okay? You hear that Dutch guy, that weird Dutch Italian guy yapping about the markets. What's better than that on a beautiful Thursday afternoon? A lot of downside pressure for gold here. Oil is spiking to the upside right now. At the moment here, you can see the order flow that we are still in that resistance, guys. Still in that resistance. Yeah, so that short was actually a good short. Looking back at it, right? It was actually a good trade at all. It was a good trade. Was a good trade. For the buys, let's see if we can get a little bit lower right now. Doesn't have to be much. It can also be around the 4594. Okay, around this area. Let's see. Let's see. Oil is holding up really well. And gold just closed below the POC right here on the 15-minute now. So I need to go to the 15-minute. Okay, where did we close? Yeah, we closed below... no, actually, we're still above it. We're still holding support. If this flips bearish, though, different story. But we're still at support here. At least some support here right now. Okay? Uh-huh. Pat to tap betting club says joining in from California, 6 a.m. Listening some guy yap about gold. My man. My man. That's how it should be. Yeah. That's how it should be. SQ Live. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Okay. Welcome to the streams. Yeah, we have around 1,357 people watching right now. Okay. We have around 340 likes, right? So that means that 1,000 of you guys have not liked this video. As you guys can see right now, I'm not promoting anything on these streams right here. At this moment, right? You can see it. It's episode 18. This is just for you. This is just for me. Having fun, talking, yapping, trading, the New York session. So if you like this content and you like even the actual ebook that we created for you here, you can download this one for free as well. The whole book, 300 pages. Then just smash up that like button, man. It would really help me. Okay? This helps my channel grow, man. That's the only thing I'm asking from you guys. We're in a crazy uptrend right now. Let's continue that momentum, all right? Thank you. Yeah, this is still relatively weak right now at the moment. Sellers stepped in here. Sellers are still in control right now. There we go. The 50-minute is flipping. We are at support though. Don't get me wrong. We are at support right now. Anything is possible here. But what I'm interested in is the lower echelon of the range, which is actually around the daily low. The daily low right now. And see if we can get into a bounce. Oil's pulling back a bit. A little bit. The dollar. Oh, look at the dollar. It's also pulling back a little bit. Yeah, we're still at support. But I'm going to focus on oil right now. I think oil has the best correlation at the moment with gold here. I'm just flipping the chart here so you can see it. Yeah, there we go. Downside pressure. Chris Investors, this is not a book, this is a Bible. Yeah, it's definitely a serious book. It's not a 3-pager, that's for sure. It's also not directly related to a simple strategy. It's the overall understanding of the markets. I want you to get ready to understand the markets better, right? What is supply and demand? For real, what does it really mean? Why does volume in the market matter, right? Why do we use the volume profile? What are some of the fundamentals that you need to pay attention to? All of that is in this book. And then, of course, with the data, right? The trade ideas and the setups as well. But the real juice is exactly what I've been talking about, which I'm working on right now for you. And also for some members. I have some plans, some serious plans of helping 10 people, teaching them the gold hybrid trading system, okay? You can see how this exact system will go to fruition here. And it's a step-by-step process that you can follow very, very clearly. Pretty intermediate. It's not for the beginners. It's not for the beginners. But it is a relatively simple strategy, funny enough. So it's all depends how you see it. Yeah. Once it clicks, it clicks. Okay, we're at support though. We're still at support. You can see this right here. This on the 15 minute. If this closes below the 09 on the 15, it's probably gonna dump lower. Okay? It's probably gonna dump lower. And I'm talking about the 4609. If you can close below that, then we're probably gonna dump lower. But we're at support right now. I'm not confident. I'm saying not confident buying here. I think that if we could come down, that could be a bit lower. Because we have broken below that structure right now. The dollar, I mean, the dollar is not looking that strong. That's true, right? The dollar is definitely pulling back a little bit, but you know, we're still getting respected there a little bit right now. Let's give it a bit more time to develop. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah. So I saw in our chat that we have a lot of engineers in the chat, right? Correct. We have some plumbers in the chat as well. Some people working at a bank. Is that correct? I think so. Awesome to see that, by the way. It's always interesting to know what you guys are doing while you're watching. Okay, we're finding some support here. That's good. Okay. Studied law, but currently stay at home mom. Okay. That is Mawakachi Pungu. Stefani says HVAC technician. Okay. MS says I am managing a hotel. Nuno Fernandez as a lifeguard, of course. Huh? Mr. Chapo. Huh? Being the lifeguard. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Good job, man. Awesome. Okay. Well, the dollar is coming down. We are finding that support here. Like I said before, in the 15 minute, we are still at support. We are still at support. I just see how much resistance we're facing, how much gold is struggling here. It doesn't look convincing for me at the moment. Okay, so if it goes, it goes. I'm not going to take it right now. If price would come down, I would definitely take. I'm going to set a new limit order now there already. A bit lower in case, just in case. In case we get there, you never know. You never know. And we are slowly getting there. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I might be playing around with the buy limit, guys. I really want to see an undervaluation. I really want to see an undervaluation here. Just so you know. I might be playing around with my levels. I don't want to enter before the undervaluation, pretty much. There we go. We have around 5 minutes left. And around 40 seconds for the 5-minute candle closure. Lorenzo, you trade directly on TradingView. TradingView a bit slow. On futures, it's fine for me. It is fine for me. I think every I don't know. I wouldn't really recommend this with a broker, like a CFD broker. I would not recommend that. Okay. The flow is bearish, not bullish. Yeah, this is why we shorted it there. Hartley, Lorenzo, long time. Just popping in to see how much of a legend you still are for helping the community the way you do, my man Hartley. This one is for you, my friend. He's a DJ. He's a killer, by the way.
Work.
This one is for you, my friend. Buy limit at 4583 for now.
Work.
However, this time I'm not going to short it down. This time I'm not going to short it back down. If I think it's going to come down, this time I'm not going to short it because we're not overvalued. Right here, it was a very straightforward short. This one right here could go either way, right? We could bounce. We could also drop. This is not a zone where I like to enter now. Yeah. This is not a zone where I like to enter from at the moment, okay? That short was great. But now we are, yeah, in the middle, okay? It's a 50-50. Don't see any clear signs in the flow here. The 50-minute is at support. The 5-minute looks a bit weaker. The 4-hour is still at, the 1 hour is still at support as well, but the candle is bearish. It's very indecisive right now. Yeah. RSI is a lagging indicator. Yeah. This is not the RSI though. This is not the RSI. Okay. Thank you for the 500 likes, Yees. You know what this means? We're going to do giveaways soon again. I think it's time for some giveaways again. Okay? Some prop firm challenges. Some exo charts, promo codes. Some tickets to Bali, to my villa. Okay. All right, we're still, this is what I'm saying. This is like, this is to me, it's kind of no man's land here right now, at the moment here, okay? So either price comes up again, we create a lower high, or we create a higher high, and we reverse or we actually pull down to that area of interest right here, to the lows, right? To the daily lows. And we find support at the daily lows. We create our double bottom. It's one of those things that I'm looking at right now, but anything inside of this is not really something that I am willing to commit to right now at the moment. Okay, just so you know. Yeah. Okay, we're reacting a little bit again. The 15-minute looks the best out of all of them. And the hourly closure will be very important too. Because there is buying. We can see that very, very clearly here. There is buying, but every time that buyers are trying to break out higher, right? And this is what we're seeing now. Every time that buyers are trying to break out the highs, right there, it fails. They fail, right? They kind of fail to take control here. And there is a lot of volume now. Look at these ticks going up and down quickly. Look at these orders filling up. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of a bounce here, but it's it's holding up actually very well. Do you follow football, Lorenzo? No. No, I'm not a big football guy, to be honest, bro. I am not a big football guy. I like basketball. I like basketball and I like boxing. Okay. Okay. That's a serious push. While the dollar is bouncing from that support, that means that oil is dropping. Yep, oil is coming down again a bit more right now. Yeah. Okay. Now show me what you got there. Who is your favorite player right now in basketball? Right now? Damn. Yeah, though there's if you guys want to talk basketball, I can. There's this new guy. It's a rookie. I'm super impressed with this guy. His name is Kan Knappel. I'm not sure if you guys know him. He's really good, man. He is really good. He's really good. Anyways, oil is holding up really well. It's bouncing from support. Okay. And we're back at that selling. We're back at that same resistance, and new sellers again step in the market right here. Right? We can see how important this 5-minute zone is on gold right there. Right? It's a bunch of selling that came into fruition right there. It's also the only area where we saw a negative delta right there. We are holding that resistance inside of that red box. This was 1 and this was 2. This is where sellers came in, right? Again, right now. We have our next closure in around 1 minute and 50 or 14 seconds. If this candle closes again bearish, right? And these sellers are holding up here very well. And this candle closes below that, we might still face that selling pressure again. So we're not fully there yet. But yeah, you can kind of see it, right? Sellers stepping in right at that resistance. So a lot of people went short here on gold. And at the same time, oil is at that support right there, okay? However, don't get me wrong, but it's also holding above that 50-minute support. So this is why I'm saying it's a kind of in no man's land right now. Okay? If oil can close below that, that would be a good sign for gold. Lorenzo, you should improve your drawing skills. I'm left-handed. I'm left-handed. That's racist. Where can we find this amazing ebook of you? In the chat, my friend, or in the description. Okay. I'm gonna add another moderator. We have Tommy right now. We have John Sparks. I really appreciate you guys. John, you have been absolutely killing it. Appreciate this. Thank you. I'm gonna look at my chat here very soon. I'm gonna add one more moderator very soon here. We need one more. Less spamming today though. That's good. I appreciate this. I appreciate this. I appreciate this. Look at the dollar. Okay, dollar is bouncing from this zone here. This is why we're holding up. I think we have to take it back to the dollar now. A little bit. See what the dollar is up to. Let's also look at the euro. The euro right now is okay. The euro is not looking weak. Okay. The euro is actually not looking weak right here. We're breaking and closing above that. We're turning this into support. We're seeing buyers are stepping in. I think this is indeed why gold is reacting as well to this. Interesting. We broke back above that zero. Oil closed below it, right? Oil closed below it. Okay, we're starting to see some signals here. And this is starting to look better too. We're not there where we have to be. Yeah. And the yield is also in resistance, is getting suppressed. Gold is slowly turning, guys. Gold is slowly turning. That's what I'm seeing right now. Gold is slowly getting to that more serious, like the groundwork, the ground foundation for gold here. That support now is getting set. Still have my limit order set here. We might actually now come down and just actually respect the lows again. But let's see. It's still not convincing enough to enter, but I think we closed that short at the right moment. Yeah, who is still in that short position that we had before? Are people still in? There has to be. Some people never close. They just hold on to it. No matter what. All or nothing. All or nothing. Yeah, I actually don't think this is looking that bad right now, to be real honest with you. Could be bearish tomorrow. We're leading towards the NFP. It could be, but we are at the higher time frame here, guys. And I hope you understand that. On the daily time frame, we have reached support. So yeah, it could be that we drop. It could be that we even close below it. Who knows, right? We have no clue. But we're in serious support here on the higher time frame right now for gold. Okay? Doesn't mean we can short it, as you see here, on the lower time frame, but we are in higher time frame support. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep it on the 15 and or the 5 minutes, sorry. That's something that we can break for now. Tomorrow the market is closed. Yeah, so it's a very interesting thing. I'm not sure if I will be streaming tomorrow. Because if you have our bank holiday, and then with the NFP, there's probably, it's a bit of a strange condition. Not sure if I want to trade that, to be honest with you. Might be one day off. He's pretty much done 18 streams in a row. Yeah. And then coming back, yeah, futures is closed as well. Yeah, okay. Probably not going to be streaming tomorrow, guys. Then it will be Monday. Yeah. Here we have the bank holidays, the Good Friday. And then an NFP news. Yeah, that's gonna be that's a deadly combination. But it will, by the way, it will give us an incredible outlook for the Monday, though. Like that's the other side of it. So on a Monday, we know exactly, okay, the NFP is behind us. We can do a proper breakdown, a proper analysis here. Okay. Can also include this in our system, by the way. It's the I need to write this down. Economic events. The economic events. And anticipation of economic events, sorry. What else I need to do? Nah, just keep it right now. Okay. I'll do that later. Okay, while we're holding that support here, gold is at a serious level of support right now. Something we cannot really neglect right here. We are bouncing from that 50 mark. Is the RSI showing something similar here? Just look at the RSI real quick. See where we are. On the 5. We're actually trying to break out. We're holding respectfully well here. Okay. We might find a bottom here very soon. Because even with oil spiking here, gold doesn't really care. Okay. I think that gold might indeed find the bottom at that initial level. Okay, the 16. Let's see where we close this 50 minute in 3 minutes. And the 5 minute is trying to still break out. But again, this is that zone. This is that freaking resistance right now. Right there. This is why I want to buy lower. Because I am fully aware of this resistance right here. And I think that the risk to reward by entering right, let's say there, getting into that resistance is just too much of a, yeah, it's too much of a hustle for the potential reward. But if it would be considered there, and we're actually getting to an undervaluation, which is the best signal, by the way, right? We know that from the past. We know how important these undervaluations are, similar to overvaluations too. Yeah, that could be a really good risk to reward setup that I would do like, right? So it's all about perspective. And it's also not about taking every trade you see. It also has to make sense for me from like a risk to reward standpoint, where I'm like, okay, I can lose 1 or 2 trades, but if I win the third one, I'm still profitable. I still end the week or the day green. Right, that's what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for these setups. Because in the end, it's about making money in the long run, right? And in the long run, I mean at the end of the week. Yeah, there is that selling pressure because oil is still pushing higher again. It's still holding up. Gold right now is chilling at the 46 to the 22. We have that support at the 4615, which is the point of control. After the previous swing, the previous bounce. So we know it's a level of interest. Is that included in the VIP? No, the VIP is closed. I don't have a VIP right now. Okay, the Nasdaq is tanking. Okay, we just opened the New York Stock Exchange. What happened on the 15-minute? We broke down. All right, we opened the 50-minute candle bearish. We are, at this moment at least, breaking. Okay, we're breaking towards the downside here. So we opened up before the open bullish. We flipped bearish on the NQ. Okay, oil is very bullish. That is very obvious. The dollar is holding that support right now. Okay. The euro is at support. Gold is at support. Do you get why this is weird? Why there is a little bit of a current disalignment here. This means that the big move is coming. Definitely later on this session. Overall, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying the session so far. Talking about Goldie with Trump in the mix. Okay, I heard that Trump was talking about Macron's wife, the French president's wife. Trump is back on this. He's just, man, Trump is just like, he does whatever he wants, man, this guy. He does what he wants. He says what he wants. And if he wants to talk about the wife of the French president, what's his name, Macron, then he can. That's what he does. Beautiful bounce here, indeed. We can definitely see that this level was actually a level where we could have held on to on our buy limit. But, you know, once we were down there, I didn't see the confirmation. I was like, yeah, makes sense. Rather that we shorted towards that level. Yeah, that large trade that I took here today was the short as well from the London session. No, the late Asia session, sorry. That was a 500 pip move with 4 contracts. That is a $2,000 trade. No, sorry. A $2,300 trade. All right, okay. Gold is pushing up, oil is pushing up. Oh, oil is dropping. That's why gold is pushing up. Yeah, we knew that something was coming, right? If there is a disalignment, we knew that something is coming. That it's coming along very, very nicely. Okay. The buy limit is not gonna get filled here. Hey, I'm from India. Nice. We have a lot of guys from the US lately, by the way. All of guys from the US are watching. And I'm like, wow, then you're watching early, my friend. And you just woke up. That must be very early for you. Not now, but when I start the stream, right? Very, very early. Short? No, I wouldn't short this right now. No, we already are out of a short. We went in and we went out. Okay? We went in and we went out here. The euro is holding up really well. Gold is actually now kind of trying to push here. We are going to face resistance now. Again, that's true. But look at oil dropping here. So we are actually in bouncing territory right now. We are getting into that overvaluation right now, but this is a larger push. This might go up a bit more. This is why I'm looking at the 15-minute. It's a very serious push. Yeah, so if I shorted it here and I kept my buy limit open, that would have been an amazing extra add-on today. But I know what I'm looking for when I look for the setups. Okay, we're back at the resistance. But this looks strong. Look at oil dropping right now. What's the hourly closure coming? The hourly closure is in 11 minutes. That's gonna be the one. That's gonna be the absolute, the game changer here. Okay, that sets the tone for our new limit order. And I think it will be at 29. Looking at it right now, I think it will be at 29. In case we pull back, because this seems to be like a really good confirmation here. We have 29, and then we have also something on the, it's 29, it's 30 actually, 30. And when people say, yo, you never get back there anymore, then you don't know the markets, my friend. I haven't seen how gold moves. Margaret says, watching from Botswana. From informative. Nice. Yeah, we're getting a bit to that to an extreme right now, but this is not looking, this is a very strong push. Let's see how much volume there was actually executed in this hourly candle. Yeah, look at that, right? 13,000 contracts, right? That's a huge push now. With a lot of volume right there. The reason why I think we could pull back here is because look at all the volume. The volume is predominantly placed at the bottom of that hourly candle, which is what you want to see, by the way. But it could mean that if there is not much buying up here, that price has an easy tendency to pull back later on. This is why I don't really feel the need to chase the market. And I can simply push my buy limit up very soon to the 30 or 29. Which is, I think, right around there. And yeah, the target is still, okay, it's still the, let me see what we had marked out, the London highs. Which is this high pretty much, the 4667. Did you get stopped out? Yeah, it looks like it right now, right? But no. We just still have this trade set there. It was a previous trade. Okay, we're overvalued right now. We are also almost overvalued on the 15. We are looking quite strong though, don't get me wrong, but we still have 8 minutes for this hourly candle closure. What would be the scenario? Something like this. What would be the stop at 4603? 4. What would be the target? The London highs. Let's see if we can get filled. Lorenzo, I'm still in this buy limit from the beginning. Okay, well, amazing then. If you held on to it, then in this case, you could see that played out very well. You know, we're not randomly picking our levels, right? We know why we're picking our levels. Okay? these levels have obviously an area. These are areas of interest regardless. We know this. And then it's all about the lower time frame confirmation that comes with it. Right there. Okay. How can we know if positioning, buying or selling of Trump's firm, TMMP, in Bitcoins? Is it not all on-chain? With Bitcoin, can you not just figure this out on-chain? Let me know. I mean, this is what I think. I don't know exactly. Do you know? I have no idea. I'm not really that familiar at the moment with the crypto market. I have been trading it a lot in the past. But I have been catching up. I haven't been focusing on it right now. Not too much here. Mihai, I think that you asked about how to sign up to become part of the 10 people. Yeah, I will give you some more information, maybe more information very, very soon. Okay? Oil should resume its downward trend from where it was yesterday. Well, let's look at oil right now. Oil is back at the... Why did I mark out this level here? Let's go to the higher time frame. Yeah, well, this is a major push, of course, towards the upside. We are indeed in that major resistance right now in oil. This is major weekly resistance right here. It's sitting at the 113. Yeah, so we do know, indeed, you're right. This is a very important level for oil right now. And we're seeing a strong reaction as well here. So, yeah, this is only positive for gold, for sure. Okay? We are starting to flip bullish here. This is what I'm saying. We've created the bottom now. We are creating a, like I said before, the W formation. So any retest is a long entry for me, for sure. Like, I'm starting to believe it right now. I like it. I think we squeezed out that last short on time, right on time, before the reversal. And I think the reversal right now is getting set here. If oil can start pushing down, and the dollar is at the Sunday open and it can't break, and the euro, this is also important. The euro is not that convincing yet, but it's not looking that weak. If you go to the order flow of the euro right now, you can actually see that we are in a major zone as well on the higher time frame. We are above these trapped sellers on the 4 hour, and on the 1 hour, we are actually looking very, very healthy right now, right? We're above that zone and we're bouncing. So this is all positive for gold right now at the moment. Yeah. This is all positive for gold. Now, the reason why I'm looking at this right now is that the hourly closure will close in around 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is where a lot of selling came, or buying came in here. We are a bit overvalued right now. That doesn't mean when we're really aggressively pushing, we could easily squeeze higher. So don't take it just for granted here. The volume needs to drop a little bit in order to confirm that. But in case we might drop to 2 levels, I'm looking at the 47, which is the point of control, right, for the higher low, towards the highs. We're already going for the London highs right now. We might drop after the London highs are taken. Going back here towards our zone, our initial zone of today, right? The swing for a high, the 4,700. That is one scenario that I'm looking for. And the other one is a larger pullback towards the 30s. That will be the ideal for me, obviously, to get back down there. And it could be later, something like that. Something that matter here. But I'm starting to look for a higher low formation right now at this moment. I will briefly explain in a second also why, from a deeper standpoint, of why this is very important for you as well right here. All right, guys? Let me know. Peterson Villa, my man, welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well here. We will be here 5 days a week, except for tomorrow. Tomorrow I will have a day off, okay? We have a lot of news tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the Good Friday. I will not be streaming. So I will be introducing the weekend early. And, you know, I have a couple other things to do maybe as well here. So yeah, anyways. Right. We have the non-farm payrolls, but we also have the Good Friday. The futures market apparently is closed as well here. There will be a lack of liquidity, and it means a high chance of manipulation. And it's not a day which I recommend to be trading at. I think it's a great day to observe and to see what happens. And then next week is just a killer week. All right. Redwell says, I just passed my 50K evaluation. My G, congratulations, my man. Amazing, amazing. Well done, my friend. Now the journey begins. Now it's about, can you hold on to your funded account? And can you, this is the most important part, treat your funded account like a real account, okay? Can you treat it like a real account? Don't get too excited, okay? Because the money is not made yet, okay? I keep saying this over and over. Some people feel that they made it once you are funded, but this is actually where it begins, okay? This is where your journey begins. It's not where your journey ends, okay? So take that in consideration. It's where your journey begins, my friends. Oh, this makes sense, okay? So treat it as serious as you treated it during your phase, your challenge phase, okay? Because what happens is usually you're funded now and it's very exciting. And once you're funded for the first time, you're thinking like, oh, that's so exciting. I just want to trade now. I can't wait to place my first trade on my funded account. And guess what? The first trade will be a forced trade. And guess what's going to happen when you force your first trade and you get into that drawdown on your first funded account? You're disappointed. And you immediately feel like you want to revenge trade. And this is how you blow up. This is how you blow up your account. You force your first trade on your funded account. You're not patient enough because you're too excited because you have now a funded account. It's very cool. And then you blow up on your first trade because you're like, ah, shit, I forced it because I was too excited. And then you're upset because you were so excited and you're now in drawdown. And you don't like to be in red on your funded account, especially not on your first trade. And you get into that vicious circle, a vicious loop. You take the second trade, you lose that trade, and then you get into a nasty cycle where you spiral down, okay? And then it's game over. Then you're like, ah, fuck it. Let's go all in right now. All or nothing. And guess what happens? Guess what happens then? Does it sound recognizable to you? Okay, overvaluation and a pullback. Overvaluation and the pullback. This is the overvaluation. And we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. But we have a strong closure. Yeah, a strong hourly candle closure with a lot of volume. A lot of volume, 16,000 contracts. And a strong positive delta. That is not bearish. That is not bearish, guys. That is not bearish right now. Okay? Just so you know, that is not bearish. We might find support here already if we're very aggressive right now. This is at 4662. But yeah, the 30s, right, is what I was looking at. 30s, in case we get there. Ooh, doesn't look good here. Large buy. Look on the 5-minute here. The 5-minute is already selling here. If we close below the 4657 on the 5-minute time frame, will most likely drop. Will most likely drop further. Because then we have a large buyer, a large market buyer, 189 contracts. Is a green bubble. But if the candle closes below it, then that big buyer is stuck. He's trapped. And we're at the VWAP. Don't forget that. We also at the 5-minute VWAP right here, the session VWAP, okay? So we are in that squeezing territory right now, the squeezing area. Also for me, not a reason to short it, like we did before. This is where everything aligned pretty much. Okay, we were turning down. We broke below our key level, the volume, the point of control, and we were overvalued right there. This was the prime short, okay? A quick scalp, but the prime short. A 250 pip, 350 pip move, wow. 350 pip move. I forgot about that. Okay. Yeah, a 350 pip move. And then right now, this to me, this changes the script a bit. So I hope you understand that even though we're overvalued here, right? And it's so accurate, I still utilize other tools to understand and give it context. Because it's otherwise, you know, if it's just like, oh, buy here and sell here, if it was that easy, everyone would do it, right? So you need context. You need context. Yeah. Don't you trade on crypto? No, not any longer. I've been actually, yeah, I think it's just, yeah. I mean, what is crypto these days, guys? I mean, we're talking about gold right now. Gold is the new crypto. Oil is the new crypto. Okay? Oil is your new meme coin right now. Why would you trade Dogecoin when you have oil? Why would you trade Solana when you have silver or gold? Okay, now this is what I'm saying. We're holding up really well. We haven't closed below that 57 mark, right? This is why I think it's very tricky to short here as well. Not a big fan of shorting, even though we're overvalued, right? But that's why I'm saying it's always, put it always in the right context. The euro looks very good. The euro looks very good. The dollar is weaker. There we go. Oil is in resistance on the higher time frame, is slowing down. So there's nothing stopping gold from creating a higher low and pushing higher in my opinion right now. Okay, so the 47 and the 30 are two levels that I'm looking at for the pullback, the higher low trade. Okay, the market moves in waves. It pushes, it pulls back. It pushes, it pulls back. At some point we will pull back. Okay, we will pull back. Yeah. Lorenzo, do you use candlestick confirmations? Yes, candle closes are very important in my personal strategy. Candle closes are very important in my strategy, but it doesn't mean we can enter aggressively sometimes, right? Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in the limit orders for the pullback and see if we can push up higher here. This is a beautiful double bottom with an internal break of structure right here. Okay. Today's trades, yesterday's trades, a quick buy here. We talked about this yesterday on stream. I hit my stop loss in the morning. That was a quick one. Took me 2 minutes. Then I shorted it, made my money back plus more. And this was a quick scalp to the downside as well here. Now we are seeing the double bottom. We're seeing the break. We're seeing the dollar in resistance. We're seeing oil in resistance. We're seeing the euro at support. Okay. We're seeing the bond market, which is positively correlated to gold, bouncing aggressively higher. Okay. So it seems to me that we are finding support. Now, let me take you to the order flow chart here on gold on the higher time frame, the daily. We are tapping into a large box. This means that a lot of sellers, we knew this was going to be support. We talked about this yesterday on stream. That area will be a large zone. Did I expect price to tap into that zone? today already? I did not, okay? But Trump helped us a little bit here. It tapped into our zone here. Okay, we are reacting. We're seeing now buyers stepping in, okay? We're seeing buyers stepping in at this current moment, right around there. So obviously what will be a good target, the 4750, because of the fact that this is where sellers took control yesterday. The 4750, which is roughly speaking, okay, right around there. And on the spot chart, sorry, it is, what level is that? The 4750? I think it is, let me look on the gold spot chart. The current price is 49 and it's 76. So it's roughly speaking 30 point difference. So the 4720, roughly speaking, right, is actually a target right there. A pretty legitimate target, but we will find some really strong resistance right here. Okay. So, okay. That is the idea here. A pullback for a continuation towards the 4750. Gonna mark it out here. The 4750 right around there, because tomorrow we might see a bounce. I like it a lot. If you can pull back here, we can slow down. We can actually hold that support, get there. And then, of course, it's roughly speaking the 4722 or something, 23. Okay, on gold on the spot chart right around there. Okay. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to lead you guys through the overall thought process right now. Let me know if you guys want to see this at this current moment. We're going to lead you guys through gold on the higher time frame one more time here. We're going to lead you to the order flow on gold on the higher time frame. I'm going to lead you through the market as well. What has been happening on oil, the dollar, the bond market. It's all connected. The euro, it's all connected to our bias on gold here. We just have been talking about our hybrid trading system, right? This is a process that we're gonna do here. That means I will set in my limit orders. I already have set a limit order right now, just so you know. It is set at 4629. I will give you guys the context behind this. Could we easily pull back on a 5-minute time frame and get there? I think we could. We have a large gap there. I think loads of the volume was actually traded right there. This could easily be retested before we actually go. If you pull back here, from my perspective, that is something that I've been seeing all the time, and we're overvalued right now against the dollar. So, you know, if we push higher and higher, at some point we will come back. And actually, to be honest, the higher we push now, okay, the more valid the trade will be if we pull back. I hope this makes sense. So the higher we push now, the more valid the trade will be if we pull back. Okay. Let me go over this and explain the reasoning and thought process behind this right now. Okay, let's go to the daily time frame. Number 1 here. Let's see. Is the stream still working? Everything good? Let me know. Something popping here? I think we're good, right? A quick check. I got an error, that's why. Okay. Perfect. Let me know if you guys are ready for the full analysis. Then we're going to go over it here. The reason why I'm here is to help you out here. Like I said before, this will be, again, a final stream before the final stream of the week, I could better say, okay? I hope you understand the reasoning behind it. Tomorrow we have news, the NFP and the bank holiday. It's a dodgy combination, okay? Low liquidity, high impact news. It's better to be very patient, stay out of that, get back to work on a Monday, full focus, utilize the non-farm payrolls, and go from there with that data in mind, okay? With the right confirmation and the weekly candle closure. It's going to be very interesting. Keep in mind, it's the first week of the monthly candle as well here. We are now seeing what's going on. So we will definitely be going over that as well here. But yeah, let's talk about it right here. Okay? Let's go over this right now and let's see what we have here. So number one, okay, let's go to the daily right there. Let's go to the daily time frame right here. At the moment, we are bouncing from. Do you guys see it already? This is on gold spot. I know there are a lot of spot traders out there. I'm going to go to the futures. I'm also going to go to the spot right here. Okay. You can actually see that we're bouncing from a daily demand zone right now. Okay. This is a daily demand zone. We have a rally. Right. We have a base and we have a rally. And we closed this candle on Tuesday aggressively above that. Okay. Then we pulled back into the base. And this is indeed where we found support right around there. Okay. So this had to do with this zone. On the order flow chart, it's the same structure, but then from an order flow perspective. Okay. This is that large push right here. This is that base. And this is that pullback. Right. And this is that support right around there. In this area where a lot of selling took place right around there. So it's a legitimate demand zone. Okay. Usually when you see a lot of trapped selling, it shows us that it's a legitimate demand zone. Okay. This is serious support on gold. I just want to make sure that you are aware of that. It is between the 4610 and the 4560. So on spot, it's going to be the 4580 and the 4533, the 4535. Okay. This is the gold chart right there. Okay. On the spot chart, of course. Then we have it on the futures chart. Of course, it's right there. This is just a daily demand zone that we are pulling back from. Okay. Now, the internal trend, as you can see here, is still relatively well respected. We had a bit of a breakdown. You can see where the resistance already will come from. Okay. You can actually see how we broke below this and how we will find that resistance a little bit higher. Okay. We talked about the 50s, somewhere up there. Okay. But it's starting to look bullish. I don't trade trend lines. I don't see a reason to trade trend lines. I'm not a big fan of trading trend lines. I think it lacks a lot of context. Okay. You see so many fake outs from these trend lines that I have been not really utilizing them a lot, unless you break and close back above them. Something like that. However, on the higher time frame, it's a different story. But I'm talking specifically on the hourly, etc. here. I'm not really that trend line guy personally. Okay. Some people make it work. I'm not really a big fan. I'm not really scared of that trend line resistance, you could say. Okay. But we are in higher time frame support right now. And if you look on the 30-minute, do we see a double bottom, guys? We are currently dropping. We are seeing a double bottom right around there. Okay. This is what we're seeing at this current moment. Right there. Okay. We're seeing a double bottom right here. We break out to the upside right there. Okay. Gold is now pushing up higher. This is actually a very good sign, like I already talked about right here. Okay. On the 5-minute time frame, it's very, very obvious. This was a level. We shorted it from here. And we pretty much did what we had to do, right? We saw this overall push. And indeed, we found the bottom here, and we are now facing that resistance. So at this moment, okay, we are overvalued against the dollar. Now, what are we looking for in our system right here? When we get towards that bias, okay, we are getting to an valuation. We look at the valuation. If we're overvalued, it's not the time to buy. It's simply not the time to buy. The historical data shows us it's not time to buy when we are overvalued against the dollar. Okay, we need to be patient and we need to wait for some pullback right now. At the same time, we're also trading into the VWAP. Okay, so we're now overvalued and we're also in the VWAP. What happened previously when we're overvalued? Right here, we took our short on the stream today, right? When we're overvalued. Okay, right here, we are overvalued. We are topping out to right there, big drop. Okay, I shorted this as well. Right there, big drop. Right there, range, right? Right there, top. Okay, right there, top. I think it makes sense, right? So is there a reason right here to buy right now? In my opinion, it's not a reason to buy right here. It's just statistically not worth it to buy right now because of the fact that every time when we're getting towards these highs in a lower time frame trend right now, we are seeing the resistance coming in. Okay, can we still squeeze higher? Yes, we can. Okay, But if we squeeze higher, okay, and if the momentum is very strong for gold right now because the rest of the market is slowing down here, I'm going to simply wait for at least a pullback, which at some point will happen. I'm not in a rush. I know where to look for when we have the pullback, when we have the right confirmation, and can we go from there? We can pretty much go from there, okay? So that is the overall thought process on gold here on the lower time frame. Now, let's look at one more time the overall market right here, okay? We have a couple layers. We have the dollar. The dollar right now is getting rejected at the opening price of the week. So the dollar opened up. It turned our red line, or sorry, our orange line into resistance and into support. Right here again. So the dollar is exactly where we opened this week on a Thursday. We're getting rejected right now. All right, this will have a positive impact on gold if we now are dropping and continue to drop further to the downside. Okay, then we have oil. Oil was very bullish. We are still very bullish in the higher time frame, but at the same time, oil right now, like I said before, is in that weekly resistance right here. Okay, the oil reached a major area of resistance right now at the moment. We are fully aware of the fact that oil is in that major area of resistance right here as well. Okay, we tapped into this. This is a major zone, by the way. It's exactly this zone, and we are tapping into this right there. And we actually got rejected at oil very, very strong already right here on the daily as well here. Okay, so oil is in resistance right now, and oil is also slowing down and pulling back a little bit. It's still holding up very well, but it is pulling back a little bit right here. Okay, so oil is more slowing down right now. It's in resistance. Okay, the dollar is weakening. Okay, this is all positive for gold right now. If the dollar is weakening, it's usually that the 10-year yield is weakening too. This is what the return that you get by holding dollars, pretty much. If you buy bonds, right? You get a yield. And if the yield is high, the dollar tends to be stronger, right? Because it's more attractive for investors to invest in the dollar and to hold dollars. But if the yield is weaker, the dollar tends to follow up with this. So the fact that the yield is pushing first to the downside right now actually shows me there is more potential for the dollar to follow up with the yield in the near future. Okay, I hope that makes sense right there. All right, this is an alignment right here we're currently seeing. Then if you go to the euro right now, and we have to go a bit deeper on the euro, we go to the order flow on the euro, we can actually see that we found higher time frame support from Tuesday, sorry. Right, we are breaking above a 4-hour zone. We closed above this, we're turning that into support. This is where a lot of sellers aggressively participated. They got trapped into the market. So the euro right now has found serious support. Let's go to the hourly time frame on the euro. Look at that. We have our closure right here above this area. We're seeing a lot of buyers stepping in right now on the euro. And when we're tapping into it, you can actually see that these buyers are trying to push price further to the upside right now. Okay. Major resistance will be a bit higher. We are nowhere near a major resistance yet on the euro by looking at it. Okay. That major resistance is actually much higher. So the euro is starting to bounce here as well, but we might pull back one more time just because we could, okay? We are also overvalued against the dollar at the moment as well here, okay? So overall, what I see on gold, when you put everything together, I see that gold right now is potentially bottoming in the short term, but for buys now, it's a bit too early. I think that the pullback might be the most relevant entry for us, looking for the right levels, and then potentially get into that triple bottom, right? That higher low, that first real higher low formation on the lower time frame after dropping today, following up with this here, okay? So last but not least, if you go to gold on the daily, you can see that we are actually holding up very well. We're bouncing, buyers are stepping in. On the 4-hour, we had a very strong 4-hour candle, a lot of buying. On the 1 hour, we had the most volume traded at 9 a.m., the 9 a.m. hourly candle, with a lot of orders executed at the bottom, which is positive. So if we pull back, we'll find major support there, okay? And this is the reason why I have an actual limit order set at the 4630. Okay, that's the 4600 on spot. Okay, the CFD chart right there, okay? I do think it's an important level to look at in case we get there, okay? I hope this makes sense. So if we go back here to where we came from right now, to our initial chart, and we go back to the 5 minute, we have an overvaluation. We're pushing higher and higher. This is why I'm saying You always have to put it in retrospect, okay? Because right now we're pushing. It's just an indicator, okay? It needs context. And with context, we can actually take a trade. This was the right reason to short it. In my opinion, this was not the right reason to short it, okay? I hope you guys can actually see this right here. Sorry. This was the reason to short it. This was not the right reason to short it. And we go from there, okay? Limit order at 4630. I'm gonna put my stops below the lows here. I think that makes sense from an hourly perspective. Let me see one more time. Something like that, in case we pull back here. When people say, yeah, you never get back there. We'll see. We'll see about that, okay? What is another level that I will be looking at right now? I mean, there is not much volume within this candle right here at the top. We saw some volume already coming in at the 46660, so the 4630 on the Xau chart, the spot chart. But also here, if we pull back towards that 0 point, we might have to drop down a little bit more, okay? We might have to drop down a little bit more. So anyways, what I would just suggest right now is to just simply wait for a pullback, slowly mark out the zone here, okay? And look at it level by level. And I'm gonna give you a couple levels you can look at right now where you could potentially enter from in the pullback, okay? My first entry will be at 4630. I already have my buy limit set, okay? This is just a level that I've set right now in case we pull back. The other entry would be considered the point of control, which is at 4647, okay? Now on the spot chart right here, it will look something like this. It's the lower time frame. We mark out the range right there. We have our level, the point of control. It will be at 4622, okay? 4622. That is going to be another very important level for us, okay? Right around there to pull back towards this area and then potentially bounce. If you can already get there and we are starting to hold that support and you see that you're holding support, then I would suggest to maybe look for a trade already right around that level, okay? The 4647 or the 4622. However, for me, I'm not going to put a buy limit there, okay? I'm not going to put a buy limit there. I'm going to wait for some sort of confirmation to see if there are buyers stepping in, and then I will take a market order or something like that, okay? The buy limit is to get the best entries. The best entries right around that area right here, okay? So that is the overall idea here, guys. I gave you guys a full breakdown. I hope you guys have seen the chart. At least for the most of the story, okay? I hope. that will be nice. Anyways, probably you guys did, right? I think we're starting to form a bottom here. That's my conclusion, and I hope to see a pullback for a continuation. That would be a really good start here. The target is the 4750. This is something that you have to pay attention to, okay? Because right here on the higher time frame, you can see clearly that this is an area where yesterday a lot of sellers stepped into the market, okay? And what happens is, if we close this candle today and tomorrow we'll pull back into that level, we will find resistance there as well. This is exactly the reason of why we are finding that support right around there as well here, okay? But that is a very, very clear signal for me to enter the trade right now after this session. Hopefully we pull back during the session later on. And if not, pay attention to this. Like I said before, like what we saw yesterday exactly, is that, yeah, I mean, if you hold trades overnight and if you place buy limits overnight, right? If you do that, then you do have to take in consideration that Trump is active. He is on a roll. He's on a winning streak right now. At least if you want to call it that, okay? That means that at any given moment when he, poops left and right, you will know the market will respond to this, okay? So do manage your risk accordingly right there. Okay, I think it's important that you do manage your risk, especially if you decide to hold trades overnight. Know exactly what you are willing to lose when you take these type of setups right there, okay? When you can't watch the charts all the time, or when you're simply sleeping, or whatever the case you're doing, right? Pay attention to this extra more and manage your risk accordingly for that exact reason, okay? Last thing, 5 minutes. We are seeing some sellers stepping in right now. Is this going to be the pullback is the question. It could be. It could be. It definitely could be. Okay. All right, guys. Let me know if you guys are fully aware of this. Type in a yes in the chat if you enjoyed this overall breakdown and analysis here. We have been here for around 2.5 hours right now. Thank you for the likes today. 675 likes. If we can get this to at least 800 likes, guys. We have 1,200 people watching. You guys are absolute legends. Absolute legends, okay? I really appreciate all of you guys. If you want to have the free book, you know where to download this. We talk about the volume profile. We talk about finding the right levels using the volume profile. It's a big part of my strategy, okay? And like I said before, we're building this framework out for the reason. It's a serious framework and it's not as simple, as hard as you think it is, but you need to know the nuances. It's all about the nuances, the context behind this. Okay? Thank you guys so much for today's session here. I appreciate all of you guys. Really, really do. And like I said, usually I'm here 5 days a week. But because we have, of course, the news tomorrow in combination with the Good Friday and the bank holiday, there will be a lack of liquidity, but high impact news. I think that's not a good combination to trade. Okay? And of course, I like to trade also on stream. You know, sometimes I like to do my analysis too when I don't see anything, but you know, trading on the stream is always a nice bonus if you can trade and execute trades live right now, right? So, hope you enjoyed it. And a quick cool gold short scalp. So congratulations. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see you on a Monday again, full force. And I think for you, it's time to freaking read this freaking book right now on the weekends. And actually get to work, my friends, okay? Read this freaking book. Do your best to read through it. I know reading is hard. I don't like reading all the time either. But hey, man, if you want something in life and it's free, then you have to take it. You have to take it, okay? You have to take it. Perfect, my friends. Hope you guys are doing well and hope you have a great week so far. I really want to make a difference. And the only way I can make a difference is by showing up for you consistently. And doing my absolute best to hopefully change your life around. To hopefully spend a bit of time with you on the stream. In moments where you might need it the most. So if this is inspiring, then trust me, my friend. There is light at the end of the tunnel, okay? That's all I can say. There is a lot of beautiful light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to commit. You have to be freaking serious and you have to take action. That's the one I was looking for. My bad. Peace out. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Much love. See you later. Peace out. One more time, I need to. One more time, I need to.